tell you what, he's been coming on strong all season long. He's had a couple little hiccups. You know, if Elkhart Lake, he hadn't had that camber adjuster problem. That was his worst finish of the year, a 16th when he was up front. If he'd have got a solid top 5 there, we'd be looking at a much tighter points race.
You know, we talk a lot about the growth of Alexander Rossi's skill set in IndyCar and kind of these dominant performances. Let's not forget the impact on Rossi's career when Jeremy Millis showed up at the team.
It's his race engineer.
His race engineer, after doing so much with Joseph Newgarden at ECR and coming over to Andretti. I mean, Rossi, I can remember vividly how happy he was after the first test with Jeremy Millis a couple years ago. He said it's a whole new world now. He was just thrilled at the performance gains.
And let's not lose sight of this either. The dynasty is here, the Andretti dynasty. Mario, Michael, and Marco are here. Home, which is Nazareth, is just 25 miles down the road. And this man, Alexander Rossi, could deliver Michael Andretti a joyous victory here at his home track.
And a great weekend overall for the whole team. All the cars other than Hunter Ray was out early. We got his son Marco in 7th. Zach Veach, one of his best races of his career so far, at 6th. All the cars running strong all day.
We also have to note the exceptional kind of damage limitation for Scott Dixon. Remember, not only did he start 13th in this race while all his championship competitors started up front, Scott Dixon also narrowly avoided disaster there with the big accident and all the debris.
It's another story of just how rock solid, another example, I should say, of how rock solid Scott Dixon is. So the lead was 46 points coming into today's 14th round of the championship. It will get trimmed to 29, heading to Gateway at St. Louis next weekend. So the numbers will tick down for just 2 to go, 5 miles left, 3.2 seconds between Alexander Rossi and Will Power. But things look pretty stable, don't they? Rossi had that pole to victory lane win at Long Beach earlier this year. Absolutely dominated all day long. And he is the most recent winner after that fabulous race at Mid-Ohio where we saw so much passing. That hasn't been the case today, but it's still been plenty to chew on. 1 lap to go, 2.5 miles. And that's the voice of Rob Edwards, the Chief Operating Officer of Andretti Autosport, oversees all of Andretti's racing operation and is the man in the ear of this guy here, Alexander Rossi.
Raindrops now finally coming onto the camera. We knew it was going to rain at some point, but what a day.
What a day. And he notches up another one at a different circuit, another victory at a different circuit. Alexander Rossi will spoil the Will Power three-peat, but he gets another win. Rossi wins in Pocono. His 3rd win on the season and 5th career win. And as far as the season is concerned, back-to-back, it's Mid-Ohio and Pocono for Rossi.
Still got a battle back here. Raindrops still on that camera, but Bourdais has been just hounding Dixon for literally half the race, but it looks like Dixon's got the measure of him, and Bourdais reluctantly got in the car today, was very upset, visibly shaken before the restart, and comes home in a really solid 4th place on an oval.
Scott Dixon, the championship leader, will stand on the podium after starting 13th. And Sebastian Bourdais, a fine drive as well, to be in the top 5 in 4th. But boy, oh boy, that's back-to-back victories for Alexander Rossi to really keep his championship hopes alive. Just 29 back from Scott Dixon now.
Big momentum swing, Townsend, and it's all about momentum in this series. It goes back and forth and ebbs and flows, and right now these Andretti guys have got the momentum.
Well, before Mid-Ohio, we said that somebody to catch Dixon needed to start a run, and boy, has Alexander Rossi lit up that run with fury, because he's, you know, 2 wins on the trot here, in both of them as Michael Andretti looks on, and he realizes that Michael's like, hey, we are contenders in this championship. In fact, you could argue we're the strongest horse in this race.
I think Michael was talking to the Team Penske guys there. They both had a few little smiles. It was a strong competition. But Michael's men and driver win out in the end. And I have to say, despite a 2-hour red flag period or just thereunder, these fans, a lot of IndyCar fans in the Pennsylvania area, and they've been loyal. They've hung out. They've hung in there.
Notice Rossi did not attempt any donuts this time.
No, not after the hiccup, shall we call it, at Mid-Ohio, where the donut turned into more of a half-spin, flick spin, and he high-centered the car.
And joking aside, I think that's really out of respect to Robert Wickens,
yes.
As we all still await word on his situation.
And I think, as we heard during that lengthy break, that Alexander will say, yes, that win is good, and yes, I've helped my championship chances, but I'll still be thinking about Robert Wickens. 5th career win, 3rd win on the season. This 26-year-old Californian just goes from strength to strength. He wins the ABC Supply 500. Our man Kevin Lee is down there in victory lane.
Let him celebrate with the Napa Andretti Autosport crew, about as dominating as a race as we've seen in a while. And by the way, we just said that 3 weeks ago when he won at Mid-Ohio, but this time 180 laps led on the oval. 3rd win of the year, matching Newgarden and Dixon. Alexander Rossi has picked up 41 points on Dixon in the championship just in the last 2 races. His girlfriend Kelly there with just a dominant drive here today. Scott Marks, that's his crew chief. Alex, impressive drive. I want to go back to really the only drama you had during this race. After the 4th pit stop, Will had gotten by. You got him back pretty soon. Tell us about that sequence and how you got back to the lead.
Yeah, we just we came out in some traffic, and it was really hard to be behind cars for some reason today. But the 27 Napa Auto Parts Honda was better than everyone else. So it's an exceptional day. But right now, I mean, Rob and James and everyone involved in that, Ryan, and our thoughts, and it's tough to really celebrate after what happened.
You have now won 2 500-mile races and a driver with a road course background with no oval experience until you got to IndyCar in 2016. How are you so good at these kind of races?
It's a team, man. I mean, I have amazing teammates. Speaking of teammates, I mean, Zach and Marco really helped me out there in traffic. So I owe them a beer or a case of beer or something like that. But it's just been leaning on Ryan and Michael and Brian ever since day one. To help me really overcome the challenge that is super speedways, and you can't do any of this without an amazing team. So very thankful to be on Andretti Autosport and had these great group of people, and it's a special day today.
3 weeks ago, 2 races ago, you were 70 points back. Now you're within 29 with 3 to go. Can you win the championship?
We're gonna try, man. We're executing like we've said we needed to do on Sundays, and we'll do everything we can to keep that rolling. There's no time to rest now. We're in Gateway in 5-6 days.
Well done.
Thank you.
Alexander Rossi dominates at Pocono.
And surrounded by the Andretti Autosport team, and some lovely thoughts from Alexander Rossi in regards to Robert Wickens, but also crediting these guys. His team got him to victory lane, back-to-back wins.